Adding manures and fertilizers. What are manures? These are organic compounds rich in nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. What do you mean by organic? Organic means which is formed from plants or animal wastes. So these manures, they are obtained by the decomposition of plant and animal wastes. Now come to fertilizers. These are inorganic compounds. Inorganic means they are made of chemicals and they are made by humans in factories, which are rich in one or more nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Here what we are talking about, these minerals, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, which are very important for the growth of the plant. So they should be in the soil, and when they are in the soil, then there will be the plants full of nutrients in them. All right, so few examples of fertilizers are urea, ammonium sulfate, superphosphate, potash and NPK. So urea and ammonium sulfate, they are nitrogenous fertilizers, which means that they are rich in nitrogen. Superphosphate, they are rich in phosphorus, so we call them phosphatic also. Then come to potash. So these are rich in potassium, so we can tell them potassic. Okay, we can call them potassic. Now NPK, N is for nitrogen, P for phosphorus and K is potassium. All right, so these manures and fertilizers, we can use both in the fields. Farmer uses both of them in their fields, but there are some differences between them. Manures and fertilizers. Manure is organic, fertilizer is inorganic. So inorganic means made of chemicals, and chemicals are harmful for us, for the field, for the soil, for the plants. But if we are using them in the field, then it increases the growth of the plant. It speeds up the process. The growth of plants is faster. So that is why they are used by farmers. They get their crop faster. Now the advantages of manures over fertilizers. We know about the disadvantages of fertilizers, still we use them, but few farmers, they are stick to the manures and they use manures only. And the farmer which use manure for the growth of the plant, we call that organic farming. And the crop which we get from organic farming is full of nutrients and pure. They don't have any chemical, and it is good for our health. Now the advantages of manure over fertilizer is that manure is inexpensive. It is cheap because it is made up of only plant and animal waste when they are decomposed by microbes, and they do not cause any water pollution or soil pollution. All right, so now when we are growing crops in the field, the nutrients present in the soil, they get depleted. So what should we do? Depleted means they get finished. So what should we do to replenish them? So for the replenishment of nutrients, what we have to do, in order to maintain the fertility of the soil without excessive use of fertilizers, we can replenish nutrients by following methods. The first method is crop rotation. It is the process of growing different crops alternately in the same field. What does it mean? What is the meaning of crop rotation? What do you understand by it? So you can get an idea with the help of this example. Like if you are growing wheat crop in first year, then you can grow leguminous plant like pea in second year. This will help to replenish nitrogen content in the soil. Okay, now next method is field fallow. What is the meaning of field fallow? So to increase the fertility of the soil or the land is left uncultivated for 2 or more seasons. So there is no growth of crop for some time, for some years, for some seasons in that land. This is called field fallow. Third is mixed cropping. So planting of 2 or more types of crops simultaneously in the same land is called mixed cropping. So why is it done? And how is it useful to us? So it is done so that there is reduction in the risk of total crop failure because of less rainfall or adverse climatic conditions. So it means that if you are growing 2 or 3 crops together, then there will not be a complete failure of crop production. Some of the plants will grow. Because why so? Because maybe some crop need more water, some crop need more temperature, and some do not need. So if mixed cropping is there, then there is chance that 50% of the crop production is there. Now fourth one is intercropping. It is same as mixed cropping, but the cropping happens in a specific row pattern. Okay, so I'll discuss it in detail. I will clarify the differences between both of them. You can have a look. Both processes involve the planting of 2 or more types of crops simultaneously in the same field, but the differences are like this. The objective of mixed cropping is to get at least one crop in favorable condition. And intercropping, it is done to utilize the space left between the rows of the main crop. What does it mean? That there is a land, these are the rows, and here you have grown the main crop. So the space which is left between these rows, it is occupied by the other crop. This is called intercropping. But here in mixed cropping, this is the land, these are the rows, okay, and the crops are mixed. The seeds of the crop to be sown are mixed up. There is no definite row in which row which plant is sown. Alright, so in mixed cropping, no planting pattern is followed, but in intercropping, specific planting pattern is followed. In mixed cropping, same fertilizers and pesticides are used. Here, different fertilizers and pesticides are used for different crops because different crops have different pests and different nutrient requirement. So we use different fertilizer and pesticides. Here, seeds are mixed before sowing, and here they are not mixed. Alright, and these are some examples like at some places farmers mix wheat, gram and mustard seeds and they grow in the field. And here wheat and corn crop. So if there are 12 rows, then 6 will be of wheat and 6 will be of corn. So this is the difference between intercropping and mixed cropping, and they both are important. And why are we doing it? We are doing it to replenish the nutrients in the soil.